Hello everyone, how are you this evening? Okay, today our video is actually part one of a two-part series about estimating large numbers. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to go ahead and pause this video and get your notebook out and put all of this in your vocabulary section of your notebook. Okay, go ahead and do that now. All right, now that you've got this written, let's kind of go over it. Estimating large numbers can be really, really tricky because there's many different ways that you can round these numbers. But you have a goal when you're estimating. Your goal is to round to the most convenient way possible. Why is it important to round to the most convenient way possible? Well, it is because you want to make your estimations easy to add or subtract when you are doing your math. So you want to be able to do it mentally instead of having to do the paper pencil version and doing the carrying and the borrowing. So to make it easier, your goal is to make it the most convenient possible number. Okay, let's go ahead and get your practice out. Go ahead and flip your notebooks over to your practice section. You're going to work with me today. Okay, and I want you to do this with me in your practice section. So if you need to pause the video now and write this down, you may. Okay, all right. Our goal today is going to be to round this number right here to the nearest 1,000 and then again to the nearest 10,000. Like I said, there's more than one way to round a number. Let's talk a little bit about this. When we round it to the nearest 1,000, we're going to go to this place because we all know that the 5 is located in the thousands place in this particular number. So we look at the 5 and we think, okay, we have to round it to this number. That means everything behind this is going to be zeros and everything in front of that will stay the same. We're not going to be touching those numbers. Okay, so we need to look at the 5 and ask ourselves, what does the 4 tell the 5 to do? Well, we know that the 4 tells the 5 to stay the same. What we're really wanting to know is this number closer to 65,000 or is it closer to 66,000 on a number line? The 4 tells us that it's closer to 65,000. So I'm going to keep that number the same, and this would be the estimated number for 65,426. Okay, now we're going to round it to the nearest 10,000. So what we need to do is find the number that is in that place value, which is the 6. That's in the 10,000s place value. Remember we talked about 1, 10, hundreds. This would be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. We're looking for the 10,000 place, which is the 6. So now we look to the 5 and we ask ourselves, does this mean that this number is closer to 60,000 or closer to 70,000? What number tells us that? The 5. Okay, so the 5 will tell the 6 that it should go up. So we're going to estimate that number to 70,000. Okay, this, as you can see, is two different numbers, two different ways of rounding the exact same number, and both of those ways are correct. Okay, both are correct, but which one, if you had to add or subtract this number, which one would be easier for you to use? The 70,000. Okay, so which number is more convenient? The 70,000. Because if I were going to have to add this really quickly in my head with another number, the 70,000 I could do really quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and get out your practice section, and I want you to write this down. Go ahead and pause this video and write this down in your book. Okay? This will be your work for tomorrow. Now tomorrow when you come to class, I want you to have this done. I want you to have this number and I want you to round it in two different ways. Whichever way you choose to round it, that is up to you. I want you to also round this number in two different ways. Whichever way you choose to round it, totally up to you. All right? But what I want you to do is after you're done rounding it, I want you to circle whichever number you write, which is the most convenient